Hi, I'm Jermaine Sain. Today on When We Speak, we'll be joined with none other than Damita.
Let's talk about L-O-V-E. Let's talk about true love, true love, true love. True love comes from G-O-D. Let's talk about true love, true love, true love.
What's the word today? Bring to life what you say when we speak.
Molten Nahiwat, Bamilas Ich Nacho.
It happens in time, the new age sublime. When we speak, clean crystal glass, life all won't last.
Death and life
When we
are in the
speak.
power of the tongue.
Got a reel for you. Understand more the truth when we speak. When we speak. Do you think that gospel music today is as influential in the other genres as it has been in the past?
I think that gospel music is more influential now in this time than it was in the past because it's a much broader and a wider platform. Social media has taken this thing to a whole nother level, versus people back in the day that had to either listen to gospel music or watch Christian TV to really hear it. To hear gospel music now, you can go on social media, on YouTube, on everywhere. It's available now outside of the four walls of the church. Do we do gospel music? Do we really use the social media platform we should? No.
Okay.
But
I think most people don't do that unless they have the
exactly.
big machine. But most people I've noticed don't really
We don't
use it
maximize
fully.
it. Yeah.
Don't really do that. But now, and I understand on that about the importance, let's say.
Yeah.
But what about the actual influence in the sound of music today? Do you think it still has? Because I know like a James Brown or the Isley Brothers and people like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times when they would sing, you heard that strong gospel background to
Absolutely.
it, or Ray Charles.
Absolutely.
But do you think that today you still hear those same gospel influences in, let's say, I won't say Beyonce, but let's
Right.
say, I don't know, any other artist?
Well, yeah, you do. You even hear from Beyonce. You hear from a lot of them. They have the gospel undertones or the gospel overtones. They have the chords. I mean, a lot of our musicians now play for them.
Yeah.
So they don't
That
have a
is true.
choice. They don't have a choice. They have our church musicians that are making a living because they can't really do it in churches. So they play for a lot of these secular artists and then come back to the church. And so of course they're going to infuse a little bit
Right.
of our chords a little bit, and even in the arrangements now that they do. Who was it I was hearing? I think it was like Jamie Foxx or somebody like that. I mean, they have these gospel tones, even like some of the vamps now.
Yeah.
They're taking our vamps and just putting their lyrics on top of what they do. So you'll always have that. I don't care how much they try to divide it, how much radio tries to separate it. It's just the way it is now.
It's there, huh?
Yeah,
And it's
there.
not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
But have you ever thought about going somewhere? Have you ever thought about doing another genre of music? Ever?
Absolutely. I still do now because I just believe that there are some songs that are out there that necessarily may not have God or Jesus in it. That's still just as powerful and influential in our culture. My song "No Looking Back" was one of the biggest songs that I've had, and even on YouTube now, it's hitting about 1.5 million views on there. And not once on there did it say God. Not once on there did it say Jesus. But the song was given to me by inspiration of God, of the Holy Spirit. And it's one of the biggest songs that I have to this day. So absolutely, I think that there are songs out there that just speak about life. It just speaks about love. It just speaks about making the right transitions or decisions in our life. And it's inspired by God, but necessarily it's not considered gospel. So I believe as vessels, I believe that anybody that says that they're a child of God or a Christian, when you do something, I just expect integrity. No matter if you say Jesus, no matter if you say God, I just expect from you, because we're connected and we're spiritual beings and we're connected to God. Like, I expect you to do right. It's like, I don't have to worry about, he didn't say God, he didn't say Jesus. No, it doesn't matter. I know him. I know where he comes from. I know the stock, that he has. So that's just me.
Of course not. It's not all in vain. It's not all in vain. Oh, in the dark days. Let me hear you, Jackie. It's so brave.
had a conversation with a friend who does some producing, and we were talking about, but his take on it was that most gospel music listeners don't really support the music.
They don't.
As much as, and that's what I was going to ask you too, it doesn't really, as much as some of the other genres. And I really wanted to get your opinion on that.
It's sad, and it's no slight, because a lot of times when church people hear that, they kind of get like, yeah, what you trying to say? But the truth and the fact of the matter is, the sales prove, the sales prove that that gospel music right now is on a decline, and people aren't supporting, and they're not going out and buying. Neither are they going to concerts for that fact. And so what you have is it's horrible. And so unfortunately, sometimes it causes people to have to make decisions in their life, because a lot of us, we do, people say it's ministry. It is ministry, but some of us, we do this for a living.
Right.
This is our job. Like, you go to a 9-to-5 job, and you punch in on the clock. Music is our life, and that's what we do. So we need the support of people to go out and buy it, to come out to the concerts, and find us interesting enough. Right. and then on our part as artists, quote unquote, we have to step it up. If people can come to your concert and see what you do on Sunday morning, and they're paying a price, no. Yeah. There is an element of entertainment that we have to give the people, and God is not intimidated by us entertaining in the gospel genre. You just got to do it within the parameters that, where we keep it, where you're not taking all your clothes off, and you're not, doing any of that. But skillfully dancing, and skillfully the musicians going, and sets and designs and things that, bringing theatrics into it. When people pay their money, you want to be entertained. I don't want to see what you're doing on Sunday morning. I can come see that for free.
Exactly.
I can come see that for free. And so on our part, we have to rethink as artists and musicians, how can we make this interesting for people? How can we make this an experience for a person where they'll want to come out, where they'll want to buy it? But the music is changing. I mean, people no longer now need a full album. People are stopping.
Right.
Everything is just changing. Yeah. Everything is changing.
I would think that it would be difficult also too, because excuse me, a lot of times if you have, let's say, a gospel singer, a lot of times they do other stuff in the church. They may sing at the church. They may be the worship leader at the church. They may preach at the church. They preach and then they'll sing. And so, do you hold any positions in the church, like as a praise leader or anything like that?
Well, I was doing it all from the beginning of my career. When I was married to Dietrich, we would all go out on the road and I mean, immediately get back on a Sunday morning, and we're the music department. I'm talking about the singers, the band, and everybody. We get off the bus, we get in, go in the bathrooms real quick, wash up, and we're up on the platform, on the pulpit, and get down. That's what we did.
So I guess, how do you balance it? Like, I don't know how to say this, but considering that they get that every Sunday, how could you then have that same church turn around and go to a show?
They did.
Is it just because of love, or?
well, what we did on the road was totally different than what we did on Sunday mornings.
Okay.
You would get, sonically, you would get the same sound, but you wouldn't get the show.
Okay.
You didn't get the costumes. I mean, we came, what I'm saying,
okay.
like Ty Tribbett and all them. We did that. Like, you wouldn't get all of that. You wouldn't get all of that. You would get more so us standing there, we singing, and we gonna give it to you, deliver it to you, just standing still. Versus getting on the road, we changing clothes, we got on costumes, we got dance steps, we got choreography. We got different breaks down, and things kind of just went to a whole, escalated to 10 notches versus what you get on Sunday morning. You would get it 10 notches, but you just didn't get the full production of what we would do on the road. And to this day, like last year was I was doing praise and worship at a church in Montgomery, Alabama. I was the worship director for a full year, and so sometimes and I still don't mind doing it, because aside from getting off the road, I love serving. That's just what I do. I was born and raised at PK, used to doing things in the church, so I can't sit in the church and just be eye candy. I'm sorry. People nowadays want to be eye candy. We come in, no, word. Let the people see you. Let them see you getting, putting your hands to the plow, ushering. Let them see you serving the pastor. Let them see you cleaning the church. Let them see you on the altar praying. Let them see you being an intercessor. Let them see you got to stay plugged into the ministry, because it keeps you humble. Not now jokers out here like, you puffed up, you just got in the industry, ain't sold cardboard and ain't sold cotton. And I mean, we think that somebody's supposed to say, no, you got to remain humble and teachable and reachable.
I can see my way out.
outside of gospel singers, are there any other singers that you have either duetted with or sang background for or recorded with?
I used to sing background for Aretha Franklin. She saw me on stage doing a play, and afterwards wanted to meet me, and from there I was singing. So I was singing R&B, so to speak. At first I struggled with it for I was like, but this is a great opportunity. This is historic. Who has the opportunity to say I sang with Aretha Franklin?
I want to put that on my resume.
Exactly. And so I had prayed about it and taught, and I did. I started singing in different places with her in the city, and it was amazing. I even recorded with her on the what is it, that song that she did for The Rose Is Still a Rose, that record.
Really?
Yeah, I sang background on that record, and it was amazing. It was a great experience, and to this day, I mean, we're still reachable in contact, or she can call me at any time or whatever, what's up. And so it's just I believe in it. I believe that God takes our path sometimes different ways to reach people, to reach different platforms. I remember one thing she had said. It was all, I was the youngest one singing out of all the other ones that were singing, and it was like the favor of God was on my life. I remember times when we would go into like the Fox Theater or something like that, and she wouldn't go to sound check, and she would, Damita, I want you to do sound check for me.
Wow.
What? Yeah, and I need you to do this, and I need you to tell them to turn the air off, and tell them that if they don't turn the air off in the place. And I was like, Miss Franklin wants the air off, and she wants to make sure that there is no air going on in the building. I have to stress it, and go on her mic, and it was an honor.
In the hospital of life, Dr. Damita would specialize in what?
I would specialize in a lot of stuff. But what would be my in my hospital of life? I would really be mosquitoes on your leg.
Oh,
I don't
thank
want
you.
to bite you.
These big old fat legs.
It would be, I would say, life. I would say relationship, because in everything that we do, you relate to something, whether it's music, whether it's people, whether it's love, whether it's special. Relationship is so wide, and in my life it hasn't been lopsided. I have experienced, and I have gone through being sick in every area, and being healed in every area, and being wounded in every area. So it's like you could not focus on one thing and say, well, let me doctor up on this right here. No, when your whole body is aching, you're not just focusing on your finger or your eye. It's like, I want to be able to get this entire body healed, because when one part of me is hurting, all of me is hurting. And so I've learned how to have that balance. I've learned how to have that balance.
Well, thank you so much, Damita, for being with us
you,
today.
Jermaine.
It has been so great, and you are let me just tell you, you are such a great guest. Because I love people who just love to talk to me.
Right.
And because I can sit here all night.
Don't you hate when people just sit there and they just give you those short answers? You're like, they are like, why did I have you on here?
Look, because I kept telling myself, you got to think about the time. You got to think about the time, because we sit here, we'll talk forever. Yeah. So once again, thank you so much for being with me. It's been a great honor and a great privilege to talk to you, because you are someone that I've been familiar with ever since I was young, younger. So to now meet you and talk to you, and you be just as pleasant as your sound, that really means a lot. So, like I said, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching When We Speak. I'm Jermaine Sain. This is Damita. And always remember that death and life are in the power of the tongue.
You got that right.
Never runs out. It's the greatest gift that you could ever receive. Love is patient, love is kind. Open up, let it inside. You should get to know love. True love. Let's talk about Love. Let's talk about let's